Alright guys, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, perlawanan pertama Vamos menentang Dfyg guys Sama-sama kita saksikan perlawanan di Lane of Dawn.
Playoff Match 1.
Lane and jungle right now are the most important actually lanes right now to focus on.
Bagi penangan sendiri pada saat prestasi zone sekarang agak flop. Kat sana copy. Kat sana balance. Tolong guys. Dia nampak main
And this is going to be an interesting match because Superkid is back on his Lancelot. This guy made waves yesterday.
Hey man, you know, we've had a couple days of some groups. We've had some interesting matches. I think even for the performance we heard about, I mean, we didn't get to cast it because we were on the other stream. But Dfyg, I think surprised a lot of people. You know, they had a great game, especially against Onyx. I think, you know, they had maybe that was the longest game, man. What was that, 31 minutes? I think they had.
Okay lah guys. Diri sendiri. Yang penting bila dia jumpa yang kuat dia boleh rekod kat bagi balance. Itu je. Rindu nak wall kick tu pak. Ai sabar apaan biasalah. Tengah sibuk tu. Okay ni Myanmar. Myanmar? Indonesia tu.
I think that it would have been very surprising for you to watch a 30-minute Barrett's game, but that wasn't the case. However, we have to focus on what we are seeing right now.
Pak jangan stop caster, teruskan. Jangan stop caster. Aku ni play mana? Indonesia guys. Dari EVOS. Sebelum ni Zone Fucking Supercan. Masih belum ada lagi cobaan daripada tim Vamos. Okay, ada datang Siska menggunakan ulti. Nampak gayanya Area 404 Dezoning oleh Yuzong dengan mudah. Ada airstrike digunakan. Ini kalau gatal level 4 ni dah lompat kat pasar ni tadi guys. Mutant Shocker diguna. Masih lagi tak ada yang tertumbang. Long sangat selesa bahagian atas. Natko ditekan habis-habisan sangat-sangat low. Zaman Force dibuka oleh Long. First blood dia dapatkan oleh Supercan. Oh, TikTok daripada Zone. Feather airstrike cantik.
Zed going to be the one to go down. It's a nice little trade cross map. Couple kills in the mid for that top long Mr. Long.
Zone beri gangguan, Supercan masuk.
Competitive scene now for a long time. He's get a good look here. You know, maybe we get to see his Moscow.
Long cuba beri bantuan.
Signature hero, the Moscow for Long. But he's got the Harith. And, you know, we talked about how the recent patch just a couple days ago changed a lot of potential what could happen, you know, in some of the lanes of some of the heroes. We got to see glimpses of it. The Tigreal yesterday, for example. I hope we get to actually see that pop up one more time. But yeah, so far I think for Long,
bola satu boleh tak jauh beza lagi guys.
Get that power spike as
kalah
fast as
satu
you
aja
can
di
on a
turtle
Harith
sebab kena zoning kan Yuzong.
technically had a bit of a nerf, but warranted. I feel like I've had my fill of Granger Harith, man. I think we've had that for the better part of this year.
Yeah, I agree with you. However, it seems like Dfyg will still play this Harith. It's a strong lane. I would say Team Vamos will have a lot of answers to this Harith. They already
Feather airstrike. Yuzong jadi tumbangkan cantik.
The bottom lane. Oh. Pick one of that. But anyways, nice. Akilo to Bell is important for
Zone menzoning nampak gayanya.
Is going to spawn. That's the second turtle of the game.
Turtle telah dimulakan oleh tim Vamos. Okey ni guys. Kita bagi balance balik guys. Turtle didapatkan oleh Era.
Just give up the second turtle and that will mean that they
nampak control map game 1 ni lebih baik ke arah Vamos guys. Untuk Turtle yang kedua.
For Team Vamos, right? A team that likes to play a little bit around the meta, you know, with some signature picks like
gameplay sound slow sangat. Nak buat macam mana? Dia memang daripada sini slow ke nak buat apa?
The way that they play this kind of lineup, it's a little more traditional.
Dapat dapat setup PC sedap apa? Okey je.
They've gone through these reps many
sedap
times.
juga okey. Bagi aku okey lah.
Here on the Cho. We've seen the Cho
tengok juga game apa kau main
so far in games of the future for MLBB. You know, just in a couple days, at least
Indo
over
menang berapa dengan Dfyg semalam? 2-1.
in almost every series. And the specialist choke players out there like Zorn are able to do such a good job at setting things up for the team. And that's why Team Vamos, you know, they've slowly built into the lead that they have right now. It's nothing massive, right? So it's literally 100 gold, but the way they're moving.
Perang 5 lawan 5 je lagi, Vamos susah sikit guys. Dia kena main kiting, kena ke belakang, bagi diorang keluar all in, masuk balik, baru diorang boleh menang. Kalau diorang tak dapat main kiting, rugi. Tendangan ke atas Gatot Kaca, Feather Strike, Revitalize juga telah dibuka, akan tapi tidak berjaya menyelamatkan diri. Satu pick off yang baik daripada Vamos.
It's easy. It's you just kick, you drop down the feathered airstrike, and it's literally a kill.
Yeah. To add to that, Zorn has been so phenomenal for a very long time now. One of the specialists, as you have mentioned earlier today. And that's interesting. The Valentina had to copy the ultimate of the Ethan chain.
Oh, Yuzong, Val ditumbangkan solo kill oleh Siska. Betul lah pilihan dia ni guys, mengambil Siska ni, nampak gayanya. Zaman Force, Cloakun menggunakan flicker, akan tapi dicari oleh Harit. Tendangan menyelamatkan. Cloakun masih lagi hidup. Cloakun mungkin boleh bagi damage sikit. Tidak, nampaknya berundur. Mortal Choker dibuka.
So despite all that, no one actually going down. I'm surprised Cloakun held on to that flicker for the longest time until he eventually burned it. This turtle is up. It's for the taking at Dfyg.
Betul, mulakan di FYG.
Ken just around the corner too, alongside Arrow 404.
Zone masuk, Black Dragon Form telah digunakan. Arrow 404 masih lagi zone yang 4 gayanya. Turtle ni menjadi dapat kan.
Dfyg and Zed will go ahead and
POG hanya untuk melarikan diri.
5
balas 1 tapi Golit tidak begitu jauh perbezaannya. Maknanya atas bakal didapatkan oleh Harit. Tapi ada backup daripada Era. Clear bahagian atas, hampir ditumbangkan, jadi masih lagi okey untuk kedua-dua pasukan.
Staying in that area would have been very explosive for Team Vamos to have 4 versus 2 out there. Zed just
kena ke? Tendangan TikTok lagi daripada Zor. Revitalize dibuka, Feather Strike digunakan, nampak gayanya. Masih lagi dihukum Gatot Kaca kat sini.
No ultimate onto the Gatot Kaca means that there's no defensive AOG that's going to happen. What I'm saying earlier is what's interesting about
banyak kali lah Zon guna TikTok ni guys.
When you lead by a lot of gold and you are winning when it comes to momentum, the moment that you just slip and
dapat
not have a proper positioning or the neutral objectives, a team that is behind can actually take that neutral objective away from you. That's exactly what happened out there.
Yeah.
The Yisun Shin was just a little bit mispositioned, and that allowed Vel to gain enough momentum to pop the ultimate and also Dfyg to get that third turtle. And now the game is even.
Baik Zon.
Yeah, the game's even here at this point.
Again,
economically, they're doing a good job at maintaining things under control for Dfyg, but I still gotta say, you know, it's what I mentioned earlier with Team Vamos. It's the way they're moving around the map. They have like control to go ahead and go for these fights.
Slow pace guys game ni. Masing-masing main perang patut, mana yang patut perang. 1000 Golit dipegang oleh Team Vamos. Masih lagi selesa tendangan ke atas Z lagi. Siska masuk. Feather Strike digunakan. Jaga jarak dulu Z. POG hanya untuk melarikan diri. Ya, dia tertumbang.
But this is a clear sign now Team Vamos can make their way for this Lord take. Fells here.
Zeus Coffee satu bah. Zeus Coffee tak ada duk.
Stolen from Zorn. They'll take him down alone, and I'm not sure actually if Team Vamos can secure this as easily as they hoped.
So Lord, and this is the dangerous grass. You also have to take care of that. Take note of that. And that also will mean that
lawan apa? Tengok sekejap lagi dia lawan siapa yang menang.
404 has over Dfyg, which is
dan tendang tap pasar tak ada ulti ke? Dia jaga jarak. Sebab pasar susah nak jaga diri tu guys. Yang dapat kacau dia memang Yuzong dengan Gatot. Right Lord, kelab ni mulakan. Superken ada di atas. Yuzong beri vision di bahagian lower. Siska menggunakan ulti. Lord telah pun reset.
Take a little focus here. Those tier 1s being up in the mid lane still really help keep things kind of under control and makes this space that they're fighting for a little bit tougher to deal with. Again, it's dangerous grass as well, so one of the teams have been playing around
Oh,
this bottom
TikTok
bush to get
daripada
there.
Valentina ke atas zone. Baik tu.
To Zorn. Taking a taste of his own medicine. Revitalize is going to be popped. The feathered airstrike
Airstrike
a little bit
digunakan.
out of range to deal with this team
Lapu juga
fight.
telah menggunakan
Down
ulti.
to one member of Team Vamos.
Lot ni jangan bagi duk kalau dia start duk sumpah.
An angle for Dfyg to take this Lord freely as they're still pretty healthy here and they're
Sebab
still
tengah balance kan. Walaupun score kill kita menang.
or delay it until Zorn's back up
Kontes duk.
in a couple of
Jangan bagi
seconds.
free duk ni.
Bell will be spotted out of that brush. Super Ken's gonna go ahead and start this up under half
Aduh,
health right
era.
now. Arrow 404 making his way, but
Alamak.
there to block
Oi,
it
lot
out.
guys,
Zorn
mudah
with the
didapatkan
black
oleh
dragon
Dfyg pada saat digunakan. Nampak gayanya Zap jadi tumbangkan. Era juga ditumbangkan oleh Yuzong. Flicker daripada Siska. Yuzong menjadi tumbangkan oleh Siska.
The 2-for-1 trade, but the Lord going to the hands of Dfyg.
Wow. That was actually a good start for Dfyg, the way that they set up the trap for Zord, because they know that eventually Zord will look for an
Alamak,
opening.
nasi kandar
But
suruh
Dfyg
satu
were
lah.
ready.
Tak
It
boleh
felt
dah,
like it was already a winning team fight for Dfyg. They did win on the Lord,
kena
but they've lost
tipa.
2 of their members afterwards. The biggest trade, however, is the kill onto Air 404. So, it would have been disastrous for Dfyg to lose 2 of their heroes after the first Lord. However, they took out an important piece of the puzzle for Team Vamos.
Era tadi Mountain Shocker tu buat buka kat tengah tu tertekan ke macam mana
Real
guys?
estate around the map. Fortunately for Team Vamos, they have stellar defense because of this Farsa. And they will be able to defend. The best that Dfyg could hope for might be to take out
Baik kena
maybe
Americano
all
pak.
of the
Wish
outer,
tak
all
dah
of the
guys. Tak
turrets
mau.
in the
Macam
bottom
tak
lane
masuk
and
ke
maybe a
Americano
mid lane
guys.
turret.
Muka macam ni.
See if they can, man. It's I've been saying that off that Lord.
Air putih cukup
You
guys.
really don't get too much, you know. Even
Air bener.
Team Vamos still holding on to that tier 1 in the mid lane, so not a huge value on that Lord take, basically. You know, but they do kind of shift things a little bit in their favor if you consider, you know, taking care of that gold lead.
Serius. Vamos tak kejap je tiba kejap. Sabar guys. Saat digunakan AOG telah digunakan. Oh, Era 404. Dfyg digunakan tendangan. Era 404 diselamatkan oleh Cha akan tapi masih lagi hidup. Satu cubaan yang baik daripada Zone menyelamatkan teammate-nya. Siska masuk, nampak gayanya Yuzong menjadi tumbangkan. Vel 1 berbalas 4. Sekarang ini
Constellation Price, a tier 2 turret up top, which gives them a lot of value obviously, but at the expense of the 4th death and a Petrify onto this Yuzong. Fortunately for them, they will have the Petrify as well as the ultimate onto Yuzong.
Harit late game ni.
But Dfyg cannot afford those kind of mistakes. In fact, Team
monster
Vamos will be
guys.
quick to
Sekejap,
punish as
dia
they
good.
have
Sekarang
already
patch
had
berapa
shot
guys?
top
Ni
lane
patch
and
baru
taken
ke
out
tak? Aku rasa macam bukan guys kan?
And then
Patch 21.40.
even without
Bukan
any
patch
threat,
baru kan?
have already planted himself out there to counter any kind of retaliation coming up from Dfyg. Great movements from Team Vamos. And because of that, they have regained control of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Natko wants to force a fight here. Another feathered airstrike dropped down, but not going to be able to kill Zed now. A little bit more tanky. This portion of the game here for Zed, he's dealt with
Kau apa khabar?
such
Baik,
a rough
alhamdulillah.
early game. You know, the constant kicks from Zorn being kicked into a feathered airstrike.
Guna
But
stevia.
now that he's got
Tak,
some of those
iya.
defensive items, he's able to go ahead and hold on a little bit longer, and that's going to be so crucial with the Gata contract. You know, you need to
Belum ada
go
ruang
ahead and
mungkin.
use that Avatar of the Guardian. If not that, then
Okay,
at
Lot.
least provide that vision and even just catch someone with the Unbreakable. And again, for our viewers out there that, you know, might not be aware, that patch that dropped a couple
Dah ni
days
mula
ago,
kan?
the Gata Contra now has to charge his Unbreakable a little bit longer to get the max taunt and the max range
Oh,
on it.
Cici dah guna ulti.
Gone are the days of just tapping, you know, the skill 2, that Unbreakable, to be able to have that max range and taunt effect.
It'll be a longer
Patch baru rasanya sebab ada Sora.
push being
Sora
set up
still tak boleh
top.
guna
Team
dalam
Vamos
match ni
have
guys.
a better long lane
Kalau tak orang dah
control here.
pick.
But the dangerous
Oh,
grass,
tendangan.
Zed is already positioned in that spot.
A
Okay,
kick again.
Siska di
Take
shutdown.
out Siska. That's a huge pick off from Yone.
Black Dragon Form digunakan. Oh, Era 404 di zoning lagi. Nampaknya lot yang kedua berjaya dapatkan zone tendangan tiada follow up. Oh, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, bencana untuk pasukan Malaysia.
As Vela takes another 2 down for Team
Ha, ni aku
Vamos.
cakap guys, kena pandai kiting. Kalau tak pandai kiting, hero-hero diorang ni habis guys. Sebab dia punya tanky bukan tanky setup. Dia tanky pick off. Jadi dapat seorang, kalau seorang tak follow up memang GG guys.
And we'll see if Team Vamos can get this
Dia jadi
defense under
benda yang
control.
rugi
The
lah.
Slords pushing in up top.
Great timing and great execution coming out from Dfyg. It's not
Edition
easy
scope lah. Sangat cakap tu
to
guys.
outplay or to surprise a Yisun Chin because of the mountain shocker, but the timing coming out from Dfyg and the fact that they have taken advantage of the dangerous
Super Ken.
Oh, error down.
Ken with a solo
OG
kill.
digunakan.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, man, Super
this
Ken
lesson
will
needs
take
to be
it.
banned, man.
Ban the Lancelot. You ban Super Ken. What a play. That's how confident he is right now with Arrow 404 being down. Look at him. He's going to jump into the base.
Susah dah kan draft ni sumpah susah.
Puncturing on through, working with this Lord here.
Alright, let mengetuk.
Potentially could end it.
Crystal.
Going for it, Zorn trying to delay the inevitable
Oh,
here.
mencari orang dulu nak compare tumbangkan. Siska masih lagi bagi harapan cuba meng-clear wave. Green spray untuk Super Ken. Nak compare tumbangkan, ditumbangkan oleh Valentina. Kuat guys di FYG ni guys. Alright guys, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, perlawanan pertama dimenangkan oleh Dfyg guys daripada China. Vamos, terpaksa akur boleh mendapatkan mata pertama 1-0. Korang jangan lupa like, comment, share bagi mendapat korang pasal game pertama. Yang paling penting jangan lupa subscribe. Let's go, power second matches.